Hello, I'm John and welcome to Hiker Road. Today's walk is going to be from the Evangelistria Monastery on Skiathos up to Mytikas, which is the highest point on the island. So let's go! You walk from the front entrance of the monastery, you walk round the side, you'll pick up steps leading down to the trail. Just be careful on these steps, seems to be a few loose rocks in this first part of the trail. The paths can be a little bit narrower, so just take your time, enjoy the walk, see the sights, sun in your face. Again, you'll have the markers pointing which way. You should be heading So, as I mentioned, this little first part of the trail, come down, steps from the monastery, across a little stream, with a lovely waterfall there, and so nice. But this is the first piece of the path, and as I said, just keep close to the wall. Take your time and you should be fine. The views on this path are great. As I say, you get the initial little narrow path as you leave the monastery, but it opens up to a little bit of a better trail. Still a drop to your right hand side as you walk, or your left hand side depending which way you're going, but you just can't beat those views. I'm not sure if you can make that out. You have Skiathos, and in the further distance, Salonissus. Two neighbouring islands. Yeah, this is a really good sightseeing walk. As I say, we're going to head up to Mytikas. It's the highest point on the island. There is another point similar with a cross and good views, and I believe that's only a couple of meters lower, so we will try to do both of them in the same walk. But if we don't, we can always plan another route. In fact, I think we'll just go to the one today, the top, the highest, because I know there's another route up to the next point, which is a very good trail, and that's on that trail we can do a circle of almost the top of the hills, mountains. Start at one point, go around, visit both peaks and past the winery, and then back to where we started. So save that for another video. So today's video will be just from the monastery up to Myticus. Right, I do want to mention, when you're coming from the monastery and we're heading down this path, you'll come to this little bit of a fence here. Sometimes it's closed, sometimes it's open. But if you would look, that looks like the path. But it's not. That way is the path. I've headed up there. It does bring you back up onto the path. But it's a little bit of a scramble. And yeah, another 20-30 yards further on, you're looking where the path is. So just a reminder, when you come along here, when you come to a bit of a fence, got your drop, that looks like the path. This is the path. And I'll show you in a minute, because I believe when you get around the corner, there's a red mark there, which, as I say, you wouldn't see from the fence. Another red dot shows you are on the right route. So just be careful on that. As you can imagine, we're going to be climbing about 230 metres on this walk. So there's going to be parts that are very steep. So it should raise your fitness level. Make sure you've got plenty of fluids with you. Nice hat to keep the sun out your head. Stop you getting sunburn. Wow. Still can't get over the views on this route. Well worth the energy expelled. Now this track joins another dirt track in about 100 metres, and then again we've got a bit of a climb, and we stay on the dirt track for the next few kilometres, which winds back and forward between the trees and the hills. And then we'll come to a point where we turn off onto another trail that takes us up to the point. Now there's a couple of trails to get up there. I think I've chosen one today, which I believe is a little bit interesting. Gives you a little bit of a climb, not mountain climb, but yeah, you're stepping up steps almost built into the ground, through a little bit of a fence, through a bit of wood, and that'll bring you to the base of where you need to climb up to the cross and the top. So I'll bring you along, and next bit of footage will be just different things we see on the trail. As you can see ahead, the concrete road turns into a gravel road a little bit further up. signs, making sure we're going the right way. Evangelistria Monastery is where we've just come from. Still on the dirt track. As I say, we've just come up a steep bit of a hill. And then you have a little bit of a choice. You can either go down this little track, which will take us to Skiathos, or on the road to the Castro, or you continue on the dirt track. Now you can continue on the dirt track, and a few hundred yards you'll be able to turn right down a junction which will take you to the chapel. But I think we'll venture this way and go through the trail. As I say, it's all fun, so let's go. So I'm not going to head into the chapel. As I say, I think there's something going on in there today. There's a few people, so just respect their privacy. So that's the dirt track I was talking about. You could walk down if you didn't want to go that little bit of a trail, but the trail was simple enough. We're going to head off up another little bit of a trail there, that way. Again, these views are beautiful. Skiathos so clearly in the distance. Right. Let's carry on up the trail. So we're going to stay on this dirt track now till we turn off for our little last bit of a climb up to the highest point, Midicus. You will see as you walk along this road various sites. There's a few little houses. The views continue to be great, but you do come into a bit of a wooded area like ahead. So again, very hot day. You just get that little bit of a cool breather, so you can rest up, keep out the sun, get yourself some refreshments. Very dark down in the woods. I've actually been on this track fairly late in the day, and this bit of woods on my right here that I just showed you, very spooky. Don't think I'd like to be out down this road in the dark, but there's not a lot on the island that can hurt you, just yourself, your fear. Oh, did I forget to mention the snakes? Yes, there is snakes on the island. I've seen quite a few, but they're more scared than you. So if you're in a bit of an area where there's a bit of undergrowth, especially during the summer when they're out, just make your presence known a little bit. Have a little stamp of your feet on the ground, send shockwaves. And again, take your time. Snake comes out in front of you, it's more than likely trying to get away from you. So once you get over the initial shock, if you've got a camera with you, some great holiday footage. Piece of art that is. You find these small monuments across the island families put up for their deceased. It's usually, I believe, on a piece of land where they lived. Yeah. So turn off to Castro. We're going to continue along the track back to what I was saying about the memorial. Yeah, I think when I die, my ashes, I might ask my family to sprinkle them along a couple of trails. Then again, I think with the amount of ashes, there'll be quite a lot of trails, so I'll be everywhere. Yeah, hopefully that's a long way off, like everybody. Just got to look after yourself, make yourself healthy, get yourself out some walks. Nice leisurely stroll up a mountain. What more could you ask for? Yeah. So, the land in the distance is the mainland of Greece, which I believe there's a good trail that walks along the edge of that peninsula called the Pelion Way. 170 kilometres I think it is. So that'll be on one of my through hikes once I've adapted to camping, which I've yet to do. So I think that might be my next video. Weather seems to be nice, so find a pitch, put the tent up, sleep out overnight and see how I go, because I would like to walk the Pelion Way, document it in the summer or at least June. So yeah, need to have some practice of camping out in a tent, make sure I've got the right gear. I've got a tent still in the bag, sleeping bag from Temu. I got a pad from Amazon, not an expensive one. So yeah, I'll give them a whirl hopefully the next video and see how I get on with them. I do have a feeling the sleeping bag is not going to be good enough. But I'm quite a warm sleeper anyhow. We'll see how I get on, and let's hope I get weather like this. This is the route we're heading. Want to head over to Castro Castle. Just there you go, across the field and pick up the trail over there in the trees. Yeah, so I'm going to carry on up here a little bit. As I said, there'll be a couple of turn-ins. The highest point is off to our left as we're walking along, and I'll point out the different routes you can head up. One's a little bit easier than the other, but I'll let you know which ones those are as we go. So again, another sign pointing up. So that's one route. You can head up there, follow the trail. You might see these crosses on certain routes. What they do is they're basically telling you you've gone off route. So I should have turned left. If I see the cross, I need to go back a little bit. As I say, I've probably gone off the route, but I've actually been on this route quite a lot, so I know which way I'm going to go. But that's a simple path, takes you through a little bit of the woods, brings you up into a bit of a field. With the trail, just keep on heading up that, and you'll get to the point. But for now, we're going to carry on a little bit further along this trail till we come to the point where I want to turn off. So, we've now reached the point where we're going to climb. Absolutely beautiful view from up here. Right, make my way through this fence. red and white sign, make sure we're on the right trail. Now this track is a little bit more, how can I say it, harder, because you are just literally from the gravel road climbing. It's just going to go up and up and up. Obviously the shortest distance to the top, but the one that's going to make you a bit more out of breath, like me. So apologies if I'm heavy breathing, but here we are, last bit of the climb. So we're going to go follow the ropes up to the top. The route I showed you earlier comes up this way. So let's go. Well, that concludes today's walk. Hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I'm going to sit up here, have a drink, have a treat. I think my next video, as I say, I'm probably going to try a camping session. If the weather stays like this, then it should be good. But for now, I'm John, and thank you for watching Hiker Road, and I'll leave you with the views.